Hi guys, and welcome to another video about anxiety. I'm trying the headset here that I would normally do with phone calls just to test the microphone, and I'm gonna see if the quality of the video is any good, so it's not like I'm yelling at you whenever I try and make a video here while I'm in my car. I just wanted to record a video here about the experience I just had. I just spent 3 weeks on a big work trip, and it was the biggest hurdle I've faced in a long time. Not that I haven't done a 3-week trip before, but it's the biggest one I've had in a long time. And excuse me, 3 weeks away from home is a long time. Now, what this has taught me is a couple things. First of all, my thoughts are just thoughts, which I guess that's not what I learned. I kind of already knew that, even though I didn't believe it while I was going through it. So maybe that's not something I learned. However, what I did learn was that I am basically sick of this. And I've made videos in the past, and I try and make it as informative as I can, and I try and make it so that I can help you, help me, just anybody who needs the help. But I find myself in a different position now. Not to say I'm taken away from the fact that I want to help anybody, but I'm at a point right now where enough is enough. And if you don't know who Eric Thomas is, I highly recommend looking him up. Also Les Brown, and there was one other person on this video that I was watching, and he said a couple things that struck a chord. So I want to talk about that, and I've also downloaded a new audiobook about panic attacks, and I want to talk about something I heard about in there as well, that was very, very useful to me, that I never actually thought of. So the first thing is, Eric Thomas, in this video that I was watching on YouTube, he was talking about, he's a motivational speaker. Actually, I think he's a motivational priest is what he is. And what he was talking about was the fact that on the other side of discomfort is a reward. You're already in pain, you're already there, you might as well get a reward for it. Because pain, discomfort, and everything else doesn't last long. Doesn't last forever, I should say. It may, like he says, it may last for a day, it may last for an hour, it may last for a year. But eventually it will subside. And what will replace it is a reward. And for the most part, when it comes to anxiety, it's a reward about strength. So why I bring this up is because while I was gone, I went through a lot of discomfort. I was anxious because of the thoughts that my brain was coming up with. I was anxious because I was gone from home a long time, and I just was eager to get back. So there was a different type of anxiety. And it was a stressful time, especially the last week. So while you're uncomfortable, when enough is enough, that's when you're going to see success happen, because that's when you're pushed to the edge and you're like, I'm either going to survive or I'm going to die. I'm going to live or die. And this is what enough is enough comes to, because I am so sick of anxiety running the show that I'm done with it. I'm done with it. And it is so much to the point of me being done with it that I am going to start going to a certain behavioral therapist, and the behavioral therapist that I'm going to is a cognitive behavioral therapist. Let me say it correctly. Cognitive behavioral therapist. And this makes things a little bit different than your routine therapy. The reason this is different is because in routine therapy that I've been to, so I'm not even talking about what you read in a textbook, this is the therapy I've already been to. You sit across from somebody and you talk about what's on your mind. You talk about how you're feeling. And from the therapy I've had so far, and I've had it from a couple different therapists, so it's not even a matter of, well, maybe this person just wasn't good enough. It was good to get it off my chest, but I'm no further ahead from an anxiety standpoint than I was before I started. So this is where cognitive behavioral therapy takes it to the next level, because with cognitive behavioral therapy, now they actually challenge your thoughts. Now it's not just a matter of, oh, I'm scared to fly. It's a matter of, why are you scared to fly? Well, what if something happens to the plane? Okay, well, what if something happens to the plane? Well, it could crash and everybody dies. Okay, well, what would be the worst part of that? Well, I'm scared of dying. Okay, that's the root issue, right? So this is kind of this, that's a very overview example. It goes into a lot more detail, but that would be kind of an example of cognitive behavioral therapy as to what I understand it today. So enough is enough. Time to move forward, time to get past this. Now, with that being said, I also want to make sure that I say that this is going to be probably the toughest thing I'm ever going to have to go through, because in order to move past your fears, you have to face your fears, and it's going to be a rough go. These have plagued me for 20 years plus, probably, and it's been a lot, and I built it into this mountain, and here I am. I'm going to start trying to climb this mountain. Now, I think I've done things based off the videos. You can tell that I've done things to start overcoming some of these thoughts, some of these fears, but this is it. I am done, and anxiety is not going to control me anymore. I have such a strong will right now to move past this that there is no ship to get me off the island. I burned the ship, as Tony Robbins says. In order to take the island, you got to burn the effing ship. And now I'm saying this because I don't know if kids are watching, because normally I would swear, but that's what he says all the time in any video I've watched of his. In order to take the island, you got to burn the effing ship. That way you have no choice. There is no fail. You succeed. Failure is out of the way, because even if you don't do something right, even if you mess up on something, you just figured out how not to do it. You didn't necessarily fail. You just figured out, okay, I can't do it that way. How do I succeed? And that's what drives you forward. You're going to get past this, and I hope you, whoever is watching this video, I hope you move past whatever anxiety you have in your life and know that there is a way out. And a lot of the techniques out there are extremely successful. But here's the thing. You gotta wanna fix it. It's no longer just a matter of, here's what I'm going to do. It's, I am going to do whatever it takes. It's, well, I'll give it a shot and see. No. If you're in this, you have to be 100% in it. Otherwise, you're going to be okay with mediocre. You're going to be okay with this plaguing for the rest of your life. So that's the first part. The second part that I was going to talk about comes from the video, or the book, the audio book I downloaded called When Panic Attacks. I can't remember the author's name, David Burns, I'm going to say, Dr. David Burns. Could be wrong on that, but that's a very educated guess. Now, what he talks about in the very beginning of this book is, what are you willing to lose? When it comes time to get over this and you're ready to move past anxiety, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to lose? Because you're going to lose something. And what I mean by this, and this is what kind of got me off guard because I wasn't expecting this, is, are you willing to lose anxiety? Now, if you're like me, because that's the way he put it, if you're like me, you're looking at this video going, what? What do you mean? Of course I am. Now, you tell yourself that, but there's a lot of people out there who are not willing to give up anxiety, because it's like that annoying person that no matter how much you try and shake them, they won't get away. And what they've learned to do, and what I've learned to do, is to adapt around this annoying, lingering, kick you in the throat, or I want to kick him in the throat, or this anxiety. I've tried to separate myself from the anxiety. As I was saying in one of the other videos, I've decided to call him George. So what I've decided to do is say, bye, George. I'm willing to give you up. And the reason that is so hard to understand to some people is because you don't know where it's going to lead. We become so used to what anxiety has to offer that we adapt ourselves around anxiety, instead of having anxiety adapted around us. And some people are not willing to give that up. So the question I have for you is, are you okay with losing something? And that losing something is probably going to be anxiety and everything that comes with it, because you're going to have to step outside your comfort zone and put yourself out there and know that it's going to suck right now, but the life you're going to lead moving forward is going to be so much better than where you're at, and you deserve it. You deserve it so bad. So I hope this video, if nothing else, has put you in a better understanding of where I am, where I'm going, and I hope you can hear in my voice that I'm completely 100% motivated to do this, and there's no way out. There's no plan B, because it distracts from plan A. Plan A is the only plan. So anyway, it's become a 10-minute long video. That is a first for me in a long time. 11-minute video, perfect. So I'm going to leave it there, and I will talk to you on the next one. Later.